Welcome to USB Hole, the podcast where we talk out of our asses. I'm Chill,
I'm the child.
and today we are giving advice. So we had some listeners write into us with their questions, and we will be answering those questions to our best knowledge with our advice. But disclaimer, we are not professionals, we are not therapists, we are entertainment, and please don't take anything we say seriously.
Well, you can take it seriously, but don't hold us to it.
Yeah, we're not liable for anything you do that we say.
Yeah,
Disclaimer.
good old booger fingers.
Booger hands. So
Okay,
I'll
last
get
time.
into our first question I got from Facebook. I am probably just going to keep these all anonymous just because no one told me if I can or cannot use their names. So I'm just going to go on the safe side here. So someone on Facebook says, if you see a social media post that is factually inaccurate and has the potential to cause harm to someone, do people have a moral obligation to speak up? What do you
Yes,
think?
I think so. And I will too. I'm not trying to be one of those people who are on social media just calling everyone out all the time. But if you come across a post that a lot of people are seeing and like they said it's has the potential to cause more harm or more stupidity, then I'm definitely going to say this is incorrect and this is why. I don't
Yeah.
just go on there and say this is incorrect. I will go on there and I would put why and give the information or give them information, show, something to educate them so that other people who are seeing it can see the real facts and not something that's wrong. So they're not spreading more misinformation.
Yeah, I'm not one going out and looking for these things to fight about. Like I'm I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. Like social media kind of ruins my life sometimes, so I'm not going out specifically looking for those things. But if I come across something and I know for a fact, like I'm not going to argue with someone if I myself don't have the information because that's just perpetuating the same thing that they're doing, giving out misinformation or false information without having something to back it up. But if you're going to do
Right.
it, I would call out harmful posts, but I would do it in a way that you can provide facts, you could provide sources and information, and make sure that you're also not providing false information.
Yep.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Yep. That would be more of a serious response and not a comedic one. And if somebody was in need of a comedic one, you could just say shut up. I'm just kidding. You wouldn't don't do that.
Just go out, guns blazing, fists up,
Just straight up
just fuck
troll
them up,
them.
yo.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes trolling these people is funny because those type of people are just never going to concede or think that
Just hit
anyone
him
else
with
is
a
right.
just like hit him with a gift that just says false fake news.
We're all about
What
fake
was
news here, solar panels
yeah.
and such.
So that's a throwback. Check out the space episode.
Oh, where did my
Something
questions
fake
go?
news.
Okay. Next question is from our friend on Discord. She has a question about going no waste. So she's been trying to reduce the amount of plastic waste they produce, but are finding it crazy difficult. Should I spend my energy holding big corporations accountable for polluting the planet? I would say that you should probably try to reduce waste as much as possible just because why not? Like, there's no reason not to other than selfish reasons, I would say. So if you have the means, if you have the ability, I know some people don't have access to like recycling or some people don't have access to composting, stuff like that. It can get expensive. I understand that, but just do what you can. But also, I would say, yes, hold big corporations responsible because in the scheme of things, they're us as individuals are only doing a certain percentage, a very small percentage of the pollution. It's big companies that are doing the rest of it.
I'm all about a reduce, reuse, recycle. That's how I do things
Oh
in my
yeah.
business and at home, in lots of different ways. But at the same time, like when you say about, yeah, you can hold the big business accountable, but also do your part. And at the same time, you can only do so much when it comes to holding somebody else accountable for their actions, but
Right.
you can change your actions to make them change theirs. Therefore, like say you used to always buy from company A, but company A is just not cutting down on the amount of plastics or horrible resources that they're putting out. And then there's company B over here who maybe company B costs a little bit more, but they're much more environmentally friendly. A better way to hold them accountable is to stop buying from them and buy from company B.
Vote
That's
with your
honestly the
money.
best way to do it. Yep. If actions and words aren't making company A do something, sorry, I hit this table when I shook the camera. Then stop purchasing from company A and purchase from company B. Do a little bit of research, and sometimes unfortunately it does cost a little bit more money, and that is hard for some people. If you can't afford it, that completely makes sense, but that's where you can do your part on the back end.
Yeah.
Don't purchase, if you can't afford to purchase something that maybe doesn't use as much of plastics or non-renewable resources and things like that, then find a different way to recycle. If you don't have recycling, counter recycling, stuff like that. Some places don't have pickup for recycling, but there's a lot of places, if you have access to the internet, people will come to you and pick up for you
Yeah.
that aren't like a company, like collection services and companies, nonprofits that want to do recycling and things like that. Like, I don't use reusable bags every time I shop, but I also don't purchase trash bags. So we compost, and we use like the bags from the grocery store if they're non-reusable, or not the reusable, like totes, like the plastic ones. We use those as trash bags because we put out minimal large waste that's going out to the trash can. So we don't buy plastic trash bags and things like that because that's waste.
Yeah.
A company, you just put out trash bag after trash bag when there's another trash bag that can be used already. And so that's kind of what we do, is we use a small trash can with minimal outgoing waste. Like our cardboard gets recycled at a different place. Our cans get recycled, our plastic bottles, glass, because where we are, county will do glass recycling, but like inside the city, they don't do glass recycling for pickups. So it's weird. So you just gotta have to look into that in your different areas.
And like you said, reduce, reuse, recycle. Recycle is the third one in that. That's the one you
Yeah.
should be doing if reduce and reuse fails. So reduce how much of that type of stuff that you buy or purchase or run into on a daily basis. And then if you can't reduce it, try and reuse it, like you said with the bags. And
Mm-hmm.
then the very last resort is recycle. But those three things are what you should be trying to do before something goes into a trash can.
Yeah. And at the same time, yeah, you can hold them accountable by, like you said, buy from someone else, because that's hit them where it hurts and that's in their pocket.
Yeah. All right. Our next question from Facebook. I need advice learning who I am. I'm more than a mom, maid, and chef, I think. I don't even know what I like. I'm not really talented. My therapist said I have no life outside of my house. So after I read this, the first thing I thought was you might need to get a new therapist, because if your therapist actually said that to you, that's kind of rude. Like, I get where
Yeah.
they're coming from in the long run. Like, you need to probably get some sort of life outside your house, but if they said it in that way, I would get a new therapist.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
would say your
first thing.
therapist should be recommending ways that you
Right.
personally can find things that you enjoy. This is a heavy question. It does
Yeah.
definitely sounds like this person is a little bit lost and probably suffering from some depression.
Yes.
That they're not finding joy in things. But I would recommend, if they don't know necessarily if they don't know what they enjoy, I would say try to set aside 10 minutes a week. Because it sounds like, they mentioned about being mom and a chef and all that. So clearly they're out there running their house, doing all this stuff that's probably taking up most of their time. I would
Mhm.
say try to set aside like 10 minutes a week to try a couple new things. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It could be like a little thing at your house, a little craft. See if you want to look up different fun things in your area that maybe don't cost a lot. Just to try to find something that seems like it might be enticing for you to want to actually try it. He said,
Yeah.
like 10 minutes for a whole week seems much more doable than saying, set aside an afternoon or set aside a day. And just try to find something that once you're looking into it, seems like maybe it would interest you, or think about something that you maybe were interested in the past, maybe before you were a wife or a parent. And this could go for anyone, not even just this particular person. Think about things that you used to enjoy doing and set aside, again, 10 minutes a week, and see if you try that again and if it brings you any pleasure, because the longer it takes you or to decide to take that step forward, the harder it is to do it.
The
And
less
then you're
likely
going to
you're
be
gonna do
stuck.
it.
Yep. And then you're going to be stuck and you're not going to have a life outside your house. And it honestly kind of, and I don't mean to be rude, I'm saying this with empathy. It sounds like you don't have a life inside your house either, because you're seeing yourself as not a person. You're not seeing yourself as, I'm a wife and a mother and I'm enjoying all this time that I'm spending with them. It sounds more like an obligation, like you're being treated or feel as though you're being treated as an employee rather than a family member.
Yeah, you don't have to be labeled as one specific thing. I mean, you're a human being. You could be a multitude of different things that work together to make you you. And if you do feel kind of trapped inside your house, look at community colleges. A lot of them will offer either free or very low cost. And especially depending on your age, I don't know how old they are, but depending on your age, you'd be considered like an adult student type thing. And you could get discounts and stuff. So find something even outside your house if you absolutely can, because I think having some time for yourself and getting away from that, I know some people can't. And like you said, just find 10 minutes to go do something, maybe while the children are at school or asleep, depending on how old they are. But if you really can, if you have a babysitter or if your significant other can watch them or family, I would get out of the house, because without having that free headspace, if you're inside the house, you're going to be thinking about everything that needs to be done, everything you need to do in the future. And it's a lot. I don't have kids, but I know that getting inside your own head is a lot. So I think get a new therapist maybe if you can, because they should be working with you to fix these things and not just judging you for not doing them. And I know someone out there can give you the tools you need.
Yeah, I really hope that the therapist didn't say it like that and they
Me
just
too.
possibly interpreted it that way.
Yeah, I know when you get in your own head, you can think people are coming at you when they actually aren't. And I'm not saying that specifically to this person. I know from personal experience, like sometimes you take things the wrong way because you're just so down on yourself. And that's a lot of depression is like that. So yeah, I think getting out of the house or getting a hobby or trying something new would be great for you.
Yeah. And since they don't know what they kind of like, it's going to take a little time to find what your hobby is going to be. So
Right.
don't give up right away. Don't give up.
Exactly. All right, our next question I got off of Discord. These are kind of random more than advice questions, but we could answer them as advice. How do you handle being in public when you are hit with the drizzling shits?
Hey, I can answer this question as somebody who has
I was gonna say,
IBS.
going to you.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
I
me
have
too. You know,
IBS.
I always have to shit myself on walks
Yeah.
and stuff.
That's why you gotta have 17 pairs of underwear everywhere you go. But
Exactly.
yeah, as somebody with IBS and somebody who has like odd food allergies, not allergies that people would think of and be like, oh, you're allergic to that. No, I eat that and I instantly have to shit.
Milk.
Yeah, I had to get past my crippling anxiety for existing outside of my house to be able to shit outside of my house. So you kind of just like, if I know I'm going to go somewhere, I'll pay more attention to what it is that I eat before I go somewhere, because I know certain foods affect me certain ways. Some of them are an immediate reaction and some of them are a little more prolonged. But say I'm just like walking through a Target and it hits me, I will just be like, oh, gotta poop. And then now it's like if I'm with people, I'm like, gotta poop. And I'll just go in there and obviously it's best when there's not other people in there, but sometimes you don't have a choice and you kind of just have to put yourself in a headspace that this is a restroom. This is what this room is for. And as like uncomfortable or gross as you may think it is, or the other people in the room might think it is, you just have to go for it.
Yeah.
Because the longer you hold it, then you're going to try and hold it and then you're going to be shitting yourself. And that's not fun.
I would say 99% of the time, the people who are in the bathroom with you, you'll never see again. So
Yeah.
hopefully not. It's going to be that 1% of the time when you know someone. My recommendation as someone who pees a lot, know where the public bathrooms are along your routes. If you're driving somewhere that's far away, have a few places planned out along the trip, because there are some places, especially in LA, that won't let you go in without purchasing something, or they're going to have a code on the door because of the homeless population. And when you have to shit that bad, you don't have time to go ask for a code and put it in. So a lot of places like Target usually will have open free bathrooms. Walgreens a lot of the times pre-COVID did. I don't know about post-COVID times. Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
They have public restrooms available still at Walgreens.
Well, some of them were closed during COVID and then they never reopened them. So I got fucked.
Earlier this year, I was in a Walgreens and I had to use the restroom, but it wasn't for the shits. I threw up. I had a really bad migraine, and I made it just in time. I definitely made a mess, but I stayed in there and I cleaned up every little drop of fucking puke that was in that bathroom.
God.
Oh God, it's horrible. But
grocery stores usually have them.
Yeah. If I'm going into a restaurant, I always look at where the restroom is before I go to like my table or whatever, so that like I know for that situation. Because like I said, a lot of my issues are food allergens, and so drop a little piece of iceberg lettuce in with some romaine and I'm fucked.
And now all of a sudden iceberg makes me shit immediately. So same. Also, if you're somewhere where there is no bathroom around and you're just like out and about walking or something, you just gotta clench as hard as possible. Yeah. Hope for the best.
Breathe in real hard, clench a bit, kind of like suck it back in. Yep. Keep walking.
Distract yourself.
Yeah. See, for me, like the road trip situation is opposite because of the IBS. I generally will be constipated when I go on a trip. So that's a little more helpful because then I don't have to worry about finding a bathroom. But like if I'm going like from my house to work and I have an upset stomach, that's a different story. But like a long drive for me, mine's a little bit reversed.
That's weird because when I get on long drives, for some reason, I have to poo and pee all day. Like it could be a 2-hour drive and it's like, well, we got to stop. I can't even last 2 freaking hours.
Yeah, no, mine because my IBS will be I'll be can't stop shitting or I'll shit nonstop. Or those are the same thing. I can't stop shitting or I can't shit at all. So yeah.
I hope that helps whoever's shitting everywhere.
Yeah. And also take away the stigma of it too. That's why I will tell everybody new, like if I'm hanging out, like obviously the first time I hang out with somebody, I'm not going to, but like Lauren, I'm with people, I'm like, we're in a group or we're doing something, like I'm upfront and open about it. I'm like, hey, I have IBS. So like, I was at, we did a memorial dinner for my uncle last weekend, and my little cousin was my cousin's grandson, actually, because our family is ridiculously huge. But so he's like 12, I think. But so I was in the bathroom a few times and I come out and he's like, he said something about it. I'm like, yeah, Mikey, I got IBS. I shit a lot. All right, get over it. And like the next time I went in the bathroom and I came out and he's like, again. And I'm like, I shit a lot. I'm like, you, yes, I said to the 12-year-old shit, but whatever. If you get rid of the stigma and you tell people about it, then it's not as weird. Don't be
And
stuck up. Everybody poops. It's a whole book about it.
yeah, and anytime I have to go to the bathroom, I'm also thinking I have to shit again. Like, really? So get off my case.
Yeah. I'm literally just like, okay, up, gotta poop and walk away. Like,
I hate
when I
pooping so
disappear
much.
for an hour, it's definitely not fun. And we're gonna do a whole podcast about pooping, but
All right, next question. What do you do if your SO sucks at housework and yet you're too cheap to hire someone?
do it your fucking self.
Or just be mad at them all the time until they learn how to do it better.
I mean, the way that this question is written made it sound like that person's implying it's their significant other's responsibility to do the housework. Like, if you're a grown adult, you also should do housework. Yes, it
Yeah,
should be like an
but
equal thing and like shouldn't be all one person's responsibility, but it's not your child at the same time. And like, if somebody can't like wash the dishes correctly, I will call them out and be like, hey, listen, these dishes are still dirty. You got to wash them this a different way, or try doing this. And if that doesn't work, then maybe I would say, hey, let's trade tasks and I'll wash the dishes and you do this other task that I normally do.
yeah, I mean, there are some things where, I mean, like, I'm home most of the time and my boyfriend works like 14-hour days. So if I don't do it, like, it doesn't really get done because all he has time to do is come home, eat dinner, shower, and go to bed because he has to be up at like 3 a.m. So, I mean, it's just easier for me to do the housework. And then if we need to like go somewhere or pick stuff up or like go, he needs to get stuff on the way home or something, he'll do that. Like, he's kind of like the designated pickup person and driver because it's just easier for both of us that way. So, I mean, sometimes it's just easier for one person to do it because, like, I can just throw the laundry in while I'm working and then just wait for it to be done because I work from home. And then I could just throw shit in the dishwasher and it'll be easier. I don't want him doing that at like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So you split responsibilities and he does stuff that's easier and
Right.
better for him, and you do stuff that's easier and better for you. You don't sit there and say, oh, well, I expect you to do all of this. You know what I mean? Maybe
I
it wasn't
expect
the
him to pick
intention
up
of
after
the,
himself. Like,
yeah.
if he's going to make a mess, he better pick up after himself, put it away and stuff like that. But I don't expect him to go above and beyond to like actually wash the dishes and like do all of that. That's going to take 30 minutes or whatever. Just stuff that makes my life easier.
Yeah. I mean, it might not have been intentionally the way that the question was worded. It's just the way it was worded made it sound to me like
That
they were
person does
saying like,
nothing and is
and the other person's
complaining.
doing it and is complaining. So I'm
Yeah,
like, well, you're an adult, so unless you're physically unable to do it,
right. And
then you
like,
should find a different way to figure it out.
a lot of people, including me, grew up not having to do anything. So, like, my mom did everything because she would get mad at how I did it. But how I did it was fine. And I was a kid. So it's like, well, then you have to teach me how to do it. So if someone wants something done right, teach someone how to do it. And then hope if they keep doing it wrong, that's an issue.
Yeah,
But if
that's
you
why I said
teach,
I would recommend saying, well, this way is not working. Why don't you try this way?
right,
Or let
right.
me show you a way that might be easier. But yeah, we did chores growing up. My parents both worked multiple jobs, so we all did our chores, and our parents were very nice about it. It wasn't like, oh, you're sweeping wrong or you're doing this wrong, but we did most of the housework because there were four of us and we were old enough to be doing it as like, from 10 and up. Even at 8, like, oh, sweep the kitchen floor. That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's not like my parents were mistreating us or using us like free housekeeping. Like, they worked and they didn't have time to do it, and so we did it. And then those were things that we learned, life skills that we then knew how to do as adults.
Yeah, I pretty much had to run the place I worked at from the time I was 15. So that's basically where I learned all my skills from.
Yeah.
Because I would be there
Like,
like 12 hours a day. So, but you just, everyone's going to want stuff done differently. And something that may be okay to you is not okay to someone else. But then if they keep doing it the wrong way, that's a problem too. So it's like you just have to communicate and figure out what compromise works best for everyone.
yeah, like, I didn't start using a dishwasher until a couple years ago.
Me too.
Like, I always hand washed my dishes, even when when I was in high school, we moved to a different house and that house had a dishwasher, but we just didn't use it. We just hand washed the dishes. And so we got a new dishwasher a couple of years ago. So now I do use that one sometimes. So I am often told that I don't know how to load a dishwasher, but if you don't like the way I load it, then load it yourself. That's how
Or
I
tell
have to
me
say.
how to do it,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I have to say about that.
I think I'm loading it right because I looked it up, but I don't know. Like I only have had dishwashers probably the past 5 years, so it cleans
It's,
them. That's all that
yeah,
matters, I guess.
exactly. They get clean.
But the way some people load it, you can only fit like 5 dishes in there, and it's like, no, we're gonna get as many in here as humanly possible. All right. Our next question is from Facebook. How to get crows to be my friends and braid my eyelashes. How do you get
Okay.
a crow to be your friend?
First of all, you go outside and you go, and then the crow looks at you and it's gonna like size you up and it's gonna be like, mm, I'm not quite sure because you got different dialect than the crow does. So you just gotta do it a couple more times and then the crow will come over and then you're just gonna catch it. And then you're just gonna hold it up by your eye and it's just gonna peck the shit out of your eyeball until it's a bloody mess, but your eyelashes will all be twirled together.
Okay, well, I had a different approach. So crows like to bring people things. So what you do to become a friend with a crow is you give the crow things, and then the crow, ew, and
Sorry.
then the
I have
crow
a
can
mosquito
use
in my
it.
face. I thought that was ravens.
It's crows. So
Oh.
the crow can use it and build his nest and eat your food. And then he will start bringing you stuff. And that's how you know when he became your friend. And then you catch him, he pecks the shit out of your eye. So it ends the same.
You just didn't have to learn a whole crow language to do it.
But you have to give him offerings
Ah,
because that's how you earn their trust.
I got attacked
But
by a crow once.
oh,
Actually, twice the same
didn't
day.
learn the first time, huh?
No, I was at a rest stop trying to go in to use the bathroom, and a crow just like swooped down and like clawed me like right here,
Oh my
like
God.
back of my neck to my shoulder, and I was like, "Ah!" And then it like flew away, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like
Like you
walking with
didn't have
somebody else.
anything like
No,
unprompted?
oh my god, this mosquito. And no, I didn't have anything in my hand or anything, and the person was walking with me, the crow didn't bother them, and then we went inside, and I came out, and the fucking crow on me again. I'm like, "What did I do?" So I'm just, like, running to the freaking car to try to get away from this crow. It bo was g didn't bother the person I was with, but it did go after another person who was at the rest
Oh my
stop.
God.
Yeah, it was scary. I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna maybe I was just trying to braid my hair." It all makes sense now.
Were you wearing anything like golden color or reflective?
I'm gonna say probably not, but I don't remember what I was wearing.
Apparently, they're attracted to golden colors.
Oh, I'm gonna say
Good to
probably not.
know.
This was like when I used to live in South Carolina and I was driving from Florida back home to South Carolina. Like I had come down on vacation. And I normally will wear like pajamas on that trip, so
Yeah.
like some sweats and a big tee or something.
Well, for the person who asked, golden colors attract crows. So just wear a whole full like sun looking outfit and you should be good to go.
Yeah.
So we have another question from Discord. If you needed an organ transplant, who would you ask or refuse to ask? And I don't think this means specific people. I think this means like, would you ask your husband? Would you ask your boyfriend? Would you ask your parents? Like, who in your life should or should not be asked?
Me personally, I wouldn't ask anybody for an organ transplant.
You
I
just
would like
simply die.
no, like I would just like get on the list and wait my turn, but I wouldn't ask anyone I personally know.
But like, what if the list was too long? You were gonna die.
Then I'm gonna die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would probably, there's so many reasons why someone couldn't donate to you. Like, there's no guarantee that someone in your family even will be a match. But I would probably, I hate feeling like people have to do something. Like, I don't want people to think they would have to. So I'd probably just put it out there and be like, yo, I need an organ. Anyone down for that? Like, who wants to help a brother out? Like,
I mean, I can't even get somebody that I know to help me move a piece of furniture. I highly doubt I'm gonna get somebody to give me an organ.
well, if they know they're gonna lose you, if they don't, they might.
Well, I guess maybe if they're gonna get something out of the deal.
Yeah, exactly. I would probably ask my boyfriend. I don't know if we would be a match. Like I said, there's a very slim chance. I would definitely go on the registry because I'd prefer to use someone's organ that is volunteering it up.
Yeah.
But if it was like super close life or death, I would probably ask my boyfriend and probably not my family because I don't know if any of them would be able to because that's still a very risky surgery.
Yeah. For the person who's donating as well. That's why like the people that I know that would give it up or donate to me, they wouldn't be able to. So I wouldn't even ask them.
And I wouldn't want them to risk dying either. So like what, we're both dead now, or I get to live and you die, that would kill me. So
yeah,
I would prefer random.
Yeah.
Random dead guy.
Can we add to this advice thing? How do you get a mosquito out of your face? Like, could you give me advice on that?
You have to kill him.
I can't. It keeps getting away.
He wants your blood.
Normally, I try not to kill bugs. Like, if oh my god, my brother-in-law will go out of his way to catch a bug and take it outside. But like, I would try not to have to kill them all because like I feel bad. Like, they're just minding their own business. But like, mosquitoes, I don't.
Mosquitoes don't stop until they get what they want.
Yeah, and they're not helping anyone. Like, sure, some bugs eat or other bugs eat them, or like frogs and shit eat them, but I don't want frogs by my house, and also they can eat something else.
There's plenty of bugs out there.
I'm gonna get a Komodo dragon and just carry it everywhere, so that it could just like eat any lizard that, or no, don't eat the lizards. Eat any mosquito that comes towards my face.
Good luck with that, because he'll probably eat you.
What about like a chameleon? It was just like, oh my god, if it was a chameleon, you know what it would do? You know what it would do if it was a chameleon?
Anyone who's just listening to this will have no idea what just happened.
Oh, okay. So anyway.
All right, next question is, if an online only friend died, would you go to their funeral? I mean, it depends on how well I know them.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. If, like, you and I have yet to meet in person, but I think if you died, I would probably go to your funeral.
I mean, I would try my hardest.
I'm saying probably because that would depend on, like, where it was and how much it would cost me to get there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would try my hardest.
Yeah.
There's some I wouldn't even try. But it's like, I feel bad saying that, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's somebody that you don't really talk to very often, then I don't think it's wrong to not go. You can send your
Right.
condolences either way. Like what I would probably do in that situation would be send something to the funeral, like flowers or something, card to the family, something to send condolences since I couldn't be there. Like if you don't
Yeah.
know them very well, it also might be creepy for you to show up
I
there.
was gonna say it's gonna be weird
Yeah.
if you show up and people are like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Because like me and you, we talk about each other to other people in our lives. Like Eddie knows who you are, your mom knows who I am.
Right. Like I have
Like
friends
people,
that know who you are from the podcast and
yeah,
stuff and so it wouldn't be weird for one of us to go
yeah.
to the others, but
Like
yeah.
if I died, Eddie would probably tell you, whereas some online friends you would probably not know even until like you're like, where the hell is this person?
Right. Yeah. But I don't yeah, so like think I don't think it would be a like bad if you didn't go to the funeral
Right.
either, like as long as you like if you knew other people in their family or something, like you could send some condolences, but like
Yeah. Or just
you're
like
not
send
obligated.
flowers. Like I know a lot of
Yeah.
funeral homes will do the, oh, you could donate on here and it'll bring like flowers or a memorial or like food to the family or whatever. Um, and I think that would be nice, like if you were close enough to do that, but not to go. And I mean, some people, it's just not feasible, like with
Right.
work and school and just cost. I mean, online friends can be anywhere in the world. We have friends in Germany, we have friends in Canada. Like, that's expensive. And I would feel
Yeah.
awful, but I just can't swing that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be bad. It would definitely be a situational
Yeah.
decision.
But some people I just like randomly talk to from a fandom. No,
Yeah.
definitely not. All right.
What else you got?
Um, it's so hard to read. What is the most annoying porn cliche?
Babysitters.
Really?
Yeah. Was that on your list of porn categories?
No.
Oh, I didn't think it was. But when I said it, the way you said really made it seem like maybe it was, and I was like offending you.
No, when I was thinking of this question, I was thinking more of like thinking about what men might have done to me because it's something they saw in a porno, but it's not like in real life work. It doesn't really work in real life. So
Wait,
like,
can you read me the advice question again then? Because
what is the most annoying porn cliche? I just thought of it that way because that would be the most annoying to me. Like when you
oh,
first hook up with a guy, especially when we were like younger and all they've seen is porn and they try and do something from the porno and you're like, that's not how it works in real life. Like you can't just stick it in my butt. Like you need to prepare for that, man.
oh, yeah, I thought it was saying like, you know, I don't know. I'm sticking with my answer for
Yours is
myself.
more of like the most annoying category.
Yeah, like, oh, the babysitter's here, and I'm gonna fuck her. We're
What
gonna
about like
fuck the babysitter
stepbrother,
together. Yeah,
stepbrother and
like
stepsister?
that whole like taboo
I like
world of
taboo.
yeah. You do?
Not specific, it's specific ones I'm not going to talk about. Um, but the stepbrother stepsister thing is just so stupid because like you're not related, so who cares?
Well, and like the step parent, and then like all of a sudden, I don't know, like it will come up in categories, and it will say like, recently I was scrolling and I saw a thing that was like, oh, stepdad and mom and stepdaughter and cousin sons. I'm like, it was like this like multiple names listed on something, and I'm like,
That's just too
how
much.
is
Who
that
cares?
working out? That there, I'm like, you're reaching, man. You're fucking
They're
reaching.
not related. They're probably basically strangers. It's you don't even need those
In a
categories.
porno, they're probably like 55 years old anyway. I think I went a little high with the age there, but
MILF porn.
Anyway, you got another one?
I think
You got
this
an
is our
advice one?
I think this is our last question. I don't know if it's technically advice, but what's the most comfortable underwear?
None.
Oh, gross.
Not wearing underwear is actually better for you than wearing underwear.
I don't care. I don't like the feeling of pants on my bare skin,
Mm.
especially if you're wearing jeans, which I wear often. Ugh.
Yeah, that makes sense if you wear a lot of jeans. Um, what what is your most comfortable type of underwear? What the
Um,
fuck is that?
I don't really buy underwear a lot because there was a time like 10 years ago where I just went to Victoria's Secret and they would always have those like 10 for 30. And so I would buy like probably 50 pairs over a span of time. So literally my entire underwear wardrobe is Victoria's Secret underwear because I haven't changed them in 10 years because I'm still rotating through the ones I bought.
That's funny though because the way you just said that made it sound like you haven't changed your underwear.
I've been wearing the same
Oh,
pair for 10 years. I have some Target ones, I think, too, which those are kind
that's
of
funny.
softer, but I don't know, like
I think it means
types.
like, huh?
Are they talking like types or fabrics? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
I would think that it meant like bikini, boy shorts,
Oh,
thongs, cheekies,
definitely
high
not thongs.
waisted,
I have never gotten
like
into thongs. I can't do it. I don't like the feeling of a wedgie. And I know people are like, oh, you get used to it. I don't care. Like, I don't have to. Because especially now that there's so many options of no-show underwear, I don't need to succumb to the thong.
when I was younger. Well, actually, age doesn't matter to this. When I was thinner, I did wear thongs a lot and they were comfortable, but I was thin, so I wasn't picking a wedgie all the time because they stayed where they were supposed to be. Versus like once I started gaining weight, they would start to roll and they would get
I didn't think
annoying or
about
like
that. Yeah.
shift. And so then I wouldn't wear them anymore because they're uncomfortable.
I
Currently, I
just
generally wear like a cheeky underwear. It doesn't really give you a wedgie.
Yeah, I feel like if I would have started wearing thongs when it was like the cool thing to do, like when we had low rise jeans and everything, I might have gotten used to it, but even now putting it on makes me want to die. So, I mean, wear what you want, no judgment. Like wear a thong, don't wear a thong. I don't get the whole like, oh, they're wearing granny panties. Who the fuck cares? I
They're
mean,
fucking those are pretty comfortable.
yeah, like 9 times out of 10, no one else is going to see them, especially on a daily basis. Like, who cares? And I have some no show, like boy shorts or bikini that you cannot see under any pants I wear. So, who cares, you know?
Yeah,
But
comfort.
I think most comfortable, I won't, I would say boy shorts if I was skinnier because I feel like those are just kind of like boxers, but in a smaller capacity. But I have thick thighs, so they roll up in the thigh area, and then in my crotch, it's
Mm,
like a big roll of underwear, and I
yeah,
don't
that would
like
be
that.
annoying.
So I'm gonna go probably bikini.
The only reason that I don't necessarily, well, so like bikini is comfortable or like briefs, I guess, might even be bigger than bikini. I don't know. Like they're really comfortable, and I'll wear something like that, like with no pants on, walking around the house just with like a shirt or whatever. But I have to wear it like as a bigger size than what I would wear if I was just like wearing it with my clothes because I don't like the feeling of the leg holes rubbing on my
Oh,
skin. So that's why I usually wear like the one that's like a cheeky, which is like it doesn't have like that elastic band at the leg hole, basically. So
and see,
nothing
that's why
rubs
I
on my
hate the
skin.
cheeky because I feel like it's too high up and then it goes up my butt, kind of like how a thong would, and I'm like, I don't like this.
You don't want stuff in your butt. Back to that
Yeah,
porn
stay away
category. Get
from
out
my
of my
butt.
butt. I had were you done with talking about butts? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good.
on my Twitter prompt at the child official, y'all still need to be hitting me up more over there. I got a response on here as well. Somebody asked for throw down some advice about broody chickens, and I think this was specifically because I was talking about one of my hens was being broody. Um, kind of the best thing to do to fix. Whoa, my laptop almost fell. To fix your broody chickens is just let them have a baby. I don't have a rooster. I only have hens, so that's not really an option. So I learned from somebody who raises silkies, which is the type that I have, that if you just let the chicken think it had a baby, then it will think it had the baby. So you just go out and get a chick that's ready to go and be with the other hens, because you got to make sure it's old enough, because if it's not, then it's not going to be warm enough and won't be taken care of. But so you want to make sure it's at least like 8 weeks old, and just sneak it into the hen's box in the middle of the night, and she'll think she had a baby, and then she'll take care of it, and then she'll be happy again. But my hen's actually doing pretty well right now. She only spends probably like a third of the day sitting up in her box now, where she was like up there all day before, unless I took her out. She comes out in the morning for a little bit and in the afternoon, and then she just kind of goes to bed early now. So she's doing a lot better, and I didn't sneak the baby in there yet. I was gonna sneak her a baby in there when I get back from Texas and see how that goes. I just don't want to put a baby in there and then like leave for
Yeah.
a few days and then like come back to like a dead baby.
You
Dead
gotta
baby
give your chicken
chicken.
a baby placebo.
Yeah. Put a little fake egg under there. But you also have to be careful, because if you have a big flock and you only put one baby in there, then sometimes the flock will attack that baby. So if you have a big flock, you want to put more than one baby in so that they can like team up and like be together. But I only have two hens, so they're just like close knit, so they're not gonna like gang up on the baby. They'll
It'll
try to
just
raise
be
it
their
together.
little, yeah, their little
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty excited about, and I really want to have that baby in there, but I'm not trying to rush the trip, especially since she's feeling better now. So,
Yeah.
but that's all the advice I have for today.
All right. Thank you to everyone who wrote into us. Keep a lookout for those prompts. I usually put them on my personals because not a lot of people follow us on Twitter, but please follow us on Twitter at Chill and Child. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.